What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to episode 21 of The Final Whistle. I'm Danny Yerb, joined alongside my guy, Nathan Osler. And exciting week of NFL happened today, or just wrapped up 2 days ago. We're filming this Monday. Or Tuesday, we're filming this Monday. We had a Monday night game last night that was and really good Sunday slate of games. I thought
Yeah.
I enjoyed the Sunday slate. The Sunday night game was really good to watch, even though it was kind of horrible, but it was just a fun watch. Start off here on the slate. We didn't talk about it. Ravens versus the Bengals. We never got to talk about this game. It was just this is in my opinion, this is game of the year so far, right? I mean, this is
These
game of the
two
year
had
so
a
far.
game of the year a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
If you think about it.
this is game. I mean, bloodbath. As a Steelers fan, it's hard for me to feel bad for an AFC North team, but how can you not feel bad for the Bengals? I mean, they're doing everything they can to win football games, and then they just don't win the game, and it's tough. I hate Joe Burrow. Everyone whoever watches this, they know that I don't like Jamar Chase, but I mean, these guys need help.
You're looking at the box score right now. The Bengals lost as well the last time these guys matched up, and it was like the same exact story. Joe Burrow last Thursday night, 428 passing yards. 264 of those yards were to Jamar Chase. He had 3 touchdowns, along a 70, and they still lost by 1. It's last time all over again. And you know what? I'll talk about this, and I think this is the talking point in this game. I do not blame Zach Taylor at all for going for 2. I think that was the right call, because you don't want to give Lamar Jackson the ball in overtime. You don't want that happening again.
True.
When you have the chance to go on the road and just beat the Ravens in regulation, because I don't trust the Bengals defense stinks. I think both of their defenses stink. And I'll get to that in a little bit when we talk about Steelers and their upcoming matches. But both these defenses stink. Whichever quarterback gets the ball first is probably going to win. We saw last time the Bengals messed up. I think they missed their field goal and the Ravens ended up winning it in overtime. But you don't want to risk Lamar Jackson getting the ball first. You cannot do that. So I completely understand going for 2. They had to play drawn up for Jamar Chase. He was open. It didn't go that way. But here's the thing. How about those 3 missed face masks? How about the holdings they missed? I think we need to start throwing Lamar Jackson and the Ravens into the same boat as the Kansas City Chiefs getting help from the refs, because it's always the Chiefs get the help from the refs. I'm not one to blame referees. I hate that. But here's the thing. Fans can clearly see certain teams get some priorities. And no one talks about how much help Lamar Jackson gets and the Ravens get from the refs. And we saw that on Thursday night going for 2. Because I think if those face masks don't happen, like 3 guys were getting face masks. I don't know if you saw the screenshot. It was like 1 or 2 O-linemen or a running back, and then Joe Burrow, face mask right there. And the refs like, oh, we didn't see it. It's right in front of you. Like, can you not review this stuff? I know they can't, but I mean, I've been listening to radio stuff and like seeing people talk about maybe those types of plays within a minute left. Maybe you go to review, because how many games lately have been decided in the final minute, and big games? We saw the Super Bowl a couple years ago get decided based off. I mean, it was a penalty, but still, you should have the power to review some of that stuff. I remember pass interference is the big one. People want to be like, that should be reviewable. And I thought that was reviewable for a little bit, but no one's really reviewing anymore. I think face masks, the way refs are missing face mask penalties, there was one a couple weeks ago that was I think it was the Vikings. It was the Sam Darnold one. They missed that one. The Vikings lost that game. I think they would have still lost, but this one, I think, determined the outcome of the game. I think the Bengals win if those face masks don't happen the way Joe Burrow is throwing the football. I don't want to blame the refs, but I mean, I think the Ravens should be in the same category as the Chiefs right now, because clearly the Ravens are not playing their best football, especially defensively. And a lot of these games have been very, very close. So, but yeah, this game of the year, I don't think it's better than the last one. The last one went overtime. But
yeah, I think to your point, talking about the officials, I don't understand. In 2019, you could challenge pass interference calls. You could challenge a PI call or a non-PI call, and they took it away after 1 year. And I thought this was a great thing, but they took it away because the officials didn't like the coaches basically challenging their authority. And here's my thing. I get if I was an official it would be annoying if you were getting a challenge call, on everything. So like holding, I don't think you should be able to, but there should be penalties that you can challenge. I think all penalties after 2 minutes, like after 2 minutes, should be challengeable.
2 minutes in each half.
I think 2 minutes in each half, you should be able to challenge a penalty.
Yep.
Any penalty. Offsides, but I think you should only be able to challenge a penalty that was called. A penalty that was not called shouldn't be able just because then coaches will get desperate and just try and challenge anything. Because here's the thing, in holding, you should not be one of those.
No,
it shouldn't. Because here's the thing: if you look at any NFL play ever, there's holding on that play.
It's so subjectable.
It's every offensive lineman gets you between here, and they'll hold you. It's every play. So
it goes both ways too.
Exactly. I think there has to be a line of, okay, if we're going to be able to challenge penalties, where should it be? PI, I think you should be able to challenge both ways, PI, non-PI, and then stuff like a roughing the passer or stuff like that. But I think PI is just always going to be the biggest one for that instance. Maybe I don't know, maybe holding under 2 minutes, maybe. I think that would just you should be able to challenge a holding call.
Yeah,
not a non-holding call, because then that's too much. But bring that back. I don't know why that's not back. I think that makes the game more fair. That leaves less criticism for officials. I mean, you never see when officials think that you're taking away their power. Whenever a call is overturned, no one ever bashes the official. No one does. But when they get it wrong, then they're going to get cooked.
Yeah, I think the most subjectable. I like what your idea is. 2 minutes left and a half. Under a 2 minute warning, especially the end of the game. I think if you mess it up, you lose your timeout like a normal challenge,
and that would be big under 2 minutes.
And I think that is huge, and I think that adds a lot of effect. So it's a big risk, and you also want to make sure you save your timeouts just in case, because we know some coaches in particular are very trigger happy with their challenge flags. I think the three most controversial penalties, and I think one we've seen more so this year: pass interference, roughing the passer, and I think face masks have become a big controversy this season. We saw it Thursday night. We saw it against Sam Darnold and the Vikings. It was a big one. The refs are right there. Everyone's like, how do you not see that stuff? I like your idea of you can only challenge penalties they call, but that's the thing with like face masks. They're going to miss those. I think it should be like penalties 15 and over. If they're big momentums, like changing like maybe 10 yards or over, like a face mask. I think face masks should be one of those like penalties like the coaches can't see. A player can tell when he's getting fade. And you have the replay system too. You can see all these images. And I think the refs, when they see it, they're like, oh, we missed it. The back line judge missed it. Here you go. Here's the call. It's going to make the other team mad that did the face mask. But I think it's that penalty I've seen this season more so than others be the subject of a lot of controversy. Like I said, we saw it Thursday night. We saw it in the past. It's like every single game. There's like George Pickens of the Steelers. He should have had a face mask on that one play. But then at the same time, the guy also face masked him going out of bounds, and the refs didn't even see anything. Maybe they just let it play.
Just offset.
Yeah, they just would have offset. There wasn't even a flag thrown after the first one, which was kind of confusing watching that over. I was like, that's a face mask. But then I saw the other one. I was like, where was the flag for the first one? So like that's a penalty I think refs are missing a lot is the face mask this year. But moving on, I guess like overall, like this game, very good game. I don't think it tops the first matchup. Oh yeah, Derrick Henry, like he's a beast. Tylan Wallace of all people popped off. How about Deontay Johnson's Ravens big debut there?
He only got in for a few plays. I think he was
they were not using
4 plays at most.
I don't know how he fits. I'm sorry. I talked about this before the trade deadline since it was earlier. I don't see where he fits in their offense. I know he's better than a Rashad Bateman and a Nelson Aguilar, but like their guy, Tylan Wallace got more targets and he only had 3. But like Zay Flowers, Rashad Bateman, Mark Andrews, they all got more. Mark Andrews is a key piece. They're a run first offense. I don't see why they need more wide receivers.
Yeah.
But that's just me.
Yeah, this is a solid game on all angles. We got to talk about the elephant in the room statistically in this. Ja'Marr Chase. I mean, ever since we posted that clip of me freaking out on TikTok going, I hate Ja'Marr Chase. I hate Ja'Marr Chase. He shut me the hell up. And I'm man enough to be able to acknowledge that and be like, okay, dude, he's obviously top 5. It's not. It's like it's. You know what I mean? He's top 5. It's undisputable. Ja'Marr Chase is one of the best receivers in the NFL right now. 264 yards and 3 touchdowns. I mean, god damn.
Interesting enough.
17 targets, 11 catches.
I have his ESPN page pulled up while you're talking about that. He's played both his Baltimore games already. 21 receptions on 29 targets versus Baltimore this year, 457 yards. 5 touchdowns.
Just crazy, dude.
Against one team.
He owns the Ravens.
That's absurd. He's a beast. I think he's deserving top 3 receiver in the NFL.
Yeah.
Easily. I think he was
better
in
than
our top
AJ Brown.
5, but like
better than Tyreek Hill right now.
Yeah, Tyreek Hill. We can get to him in a second. When we get to the Dolphins.
What the hell is going on?
Overall, great Thursday night game. One of the best primetime games we've had this season, I think. There's been a lot of good ones, but this one, very good. You got any closing thoughts?
0.
So do we want to move on to, let's save Steelers Commanders for later. Let's go to London, or Germany, I mean.
Ugh.
How about this? The Panthers are 3-7. They do not have the first overall pick. It's not even the Giants, it's the Jaguars right now. I don't know if you saw that, but Panthers have 3 wins. Bryce Young has a 2-game winning streak. They beat the Giants in Germany in a thriller that went to overtime in the game no one asked for. It ended on a Tyrone Tracy Jr. fumble. Gave them the ball, which kind of sucks because he's having a pretty good year. He just tore up the Steelers a couple weeks ago. He had a really good game against the Panthers where he had 103 rushing and a touchdown. But yeah, you want to talk about this one really quick or any takeaways?
I mean, this game was better than I thought it was going to be, but it's just battle of 2 teams that just suck. Chuba Hubbard has been phenomenal. And I know Jonathan Brooks was supposed to come back this week, and then they last second were like, okay, he's not coming back. Didn't wake up for that. Missed that in my fantasy lineup, so that's cool. Yeah. But Chuba Hubbard's killing it.
I think he's skyrocketing this season.
Yeah, he is. And it's hard enough to be happy for Bryce Young. It really is. And seeing what he's gone through in the NFL, his situation, it's just hard to feel. It's hard to not feel remorse for him, and seeing him win games and be happy. It makes me happy. It's a bad situation. It's really bad. I would be down sick if I was a Panther, and I got drafted to the Panthers. Here's the thing: you're just set up for failure in that spot. There's no way. I mean, even if there's, let's say you draft a guy like Mahomes onto the Panthers. Is he going to be Patrick Mahomes? Like, is his career going to be the same Patrick Mahomes? No, not. It will not be. Just because that organization is just not set up for success. I mean, you even look at name a star. Like, they have to be in a good system. If that, you look at Jaden Daniels. The guy is great. He came to a lackluster team and did something with it. Yeah. But the jump from Panthers to Commanders, it's so different. The Panthers are just flat out just so horrible that it's going to take something more than Bryce Young. It's going to take another weapon. They had weapons. They had Deontay. They had Thielen. I think they had enough on offense to do something, and it does kind of fall back to Bryce Young. But again, at the same time, I like seeing him win. I just feel bad for the guy.
Yeah, looking at the Panthers' upcoming schedule, they have 7 games left, and it would be a miracle if they win a game. Maybe they can win 1. You know who they play next? On the 24th. So they have a certain 2-time Super Bowl champion back-to-back and Patrick Mahomes coming to Carolina.
Okay.
That's going to be a once-in-a-lifetime Rock versus John Cena matchup. I saw.
If you don't think I'm taking the Panthers in that game.
Listen, Panthers got a week off. They got a week off to prepare.
I am totally taking the Panthers in that game. That's happening. That's going to happen.
So, before we move on, here's their remaining schedule. I want you to say, out of these 7, can they win? How many games do you think they win? They're 3-7 now. I think the Panthers already have exceeded a lot of expectations, winning 3 games just for fun. Chiefs, Buccaneers, Eagles on the road, Cowboys, Cardinals, and then 2 on the road to end it. Bucks, Falcons. How many do they win, and who do they beat?
I mean, I think they beat the Chiefs. Honestly, this is crazy. But
that would be a miracle.
Don't act like I haven't called every Panthers win. Don't act like it. I said Broncos were going to win last week. They should have won. I've been on my upset waves, but I see it. I think they win 1 more game. It's going to be the Chiefs.
I think if they win a game, it might be the Cowboys.
Oh yeah, true.
That's a trap.
That game was sick.
Maybe one against the Bucks because they're all injured.
Yeah, no, they can beat the Cowboys for sure.
Look at December 1st against the Bucks. I think that's the one because they won't have Mike Evans back in time.
True.
Well, moving on.
But the Bucks still got Baker.
Yeah, that is a good point. Chuba Hubbard, very good. Moving on. This is the talking point I wanted to really talk about today. Patriots Bears. 19-3 in Chicago. The Bears go down. And the story that came out today, Bears are wanting Matt Eberflus fired because he stinks.
He should have been fired 3 weeks ago.
He fired his third. He's gone through his third OC in 3 years. He just fired their offensive coordinator Shane Waldron, who is with the Seahawks. And here's the thing: he's only been their OC for 10 games. He just got hired. So I've been seeing like Bears fans on social media call this the scapegoat for Eberflus. Yeah. Why is he still there? He stinks. Like I get the offense is underperformed, but like still, like the defense is keeping this team alive, I guess. But
Caleb Williams was sacked 9 times in this game. This has nothing to do with your offensive coordinator. This has something to do with your offensive line and your damn coaching.
Yeah, 9 times for 51 yards. That's absurd. Drake May went in here.
Tackles for loss.
Drake May's looked good. I don't want to take that from him. But he went into Chicago and beat and I almost said Baker. He beat Caleb Williams, the guy that went number 1. Caleb Williams in the last 2 games, has lost to Jaden Daniels, the number 2 and number 3 overall picks back to back. How about that?
That's crazy.
I don't think we need to worry about Caleb Williams right now. I think there's greater problems in Chicago.
I agree.
Being the coaching staff. Look at all the talent. Look at it all. Look at the offense. Keenan Allen they bring in. DJ Moore they just signed. Roma Dunze. DeAndre Swift's pretty good. Caleb Williams got a number 1 overall draft pick. Yeah, Cole Kmet. A bunch of other guys. And they're probably going to bring in some guys in the offseason. I'm surprised they didn't trade anyone or do anything with that. This is a team that brought in so many weapons and they're underperforming. They're 4-1 at home. They just lost this week. They are now on a 3-game losing streak where they lost to the Commanders by 3. They got whooped by the Cardinals, whooped by the Patriots. They also lost to the Texans and Colts. The games they've won are not that impressive. They beat the Titans 24-17. Beat the Rams when they were injured 24-18. They whooped the Panthers, their most impressive win, 36-10. And maybe you could argue the win against the Jaguars being impressive, 35-16. The Bears' problems are at the coaching staff.
For sure.
The head coach, Eberflus, he sucks.
Bum.
This team was in it. They were in it still, and they completely blew it. They were in that division. They had a chance for a wild card. I don't think they're in there. I think when we do our power rankings later, this is going to be an interesting one where we land them because they've just collapsed. I get they're only 1 game under, but I don't think the Bears have a chance. I think if they get in there, an easy win for whoever they face. I think the way they look, Caleb Williams, I'm not worried about him. He's only a rookie, but he's showing signs of like, if he takes all these hits, I don't know how it's going to treat him. I don't know if he's going to be healthy. Sacked 9 times. We talked about this a couple weeks ago. The O-line's a problem. Why is it the offensive coordinator's fault? I know you only put up 3 points against the Patriots, but still, when's their ownership going to see it's the head coach? There's a couple owners we can talk about too on that problem, but I don't know. That's what I got.
Caleb Williams was hit. He was hit 13 times, sacked 9 times. It's a problem. The offensive line is just a big problem. It's tough to pin this on one person because a lot of stuff went wrong. Caleb Williams, being sacked isn't always on your offensive line. Sometimes you need to get the ball out. Sometimes you can evade pressure better. Sometimes you just don't have a good sense for pressure. And Caleb Williams, I haven't seen enough out of Caleb Williams yet for me to be like, oh no, it's not his fault. It's not his fault. I think this again could fully still be a Caleb Williams problem. This, we've seen he's had flashes, sure, but again, I'm not ready to pin this on one person yet. But I think Eberflus kind of has to be your scapegoat at this point. Of okay, something's not working. Coach first. It's gonna go coach first, and then it's gonna take another coach and probably another offensive coordinator, and then people are gonna start going, hold on, we've had 3 coaches, 4 offensive coordinators, got a whole new offensive line, drafted offensive linemen, and it's been 4 years and we're still not getting over the hump. What's wrong? And then I think people are going to start finally pointing that finger to Caleb Williams, and I've been pointing that finger all along.
You have.
I don't think he's a good quarterback. I don't think he's going to be an elite quarterback ever in the NFL. I think people are so hung up on Caleb Williams and glaze him so much that nothing will be. It's not Caleb's fault. It's not Caleb's fault he was sacked 9 times. When you look at the stat sheet, you don't think it's Caleb's fault. But then if you really watch the film, you saw with Kenny Pickett, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kenny Pickett loved to escape the pocket way too early, and he would collapse out of that pocket. And you look at Russell Wilson now, this is virtually the same offensive line that we had with Kenny Pickett, virtually. I'm not saying it's the same. There are some upgrades. There are also some downgrades, right? We've also had a few injuries. Russell Wilson isn't getting sacked. Russell Wilson stays in that pocket. He's composed, and he throws it. Caleb Williams is doing the same thing Kenny Pickett's doing, where he's trying to get out of that pocket, and he wants to be Mahomes so bad. He wants to be Mahomes so bad, where he runs. He ran like 13 yards backwards, did his little thing, and then falls to a knee, gets a hand up, and then tries to make a play. Dude, this is the NFL. Like you're not him, bro. Okay, this is not Pac-12 after dark anymore, buddy. You've got to step in. You got to step up into the pocket, and not drop back. Sometimes you got to step up into the pocket, and I think he's just not gonna do that yet. And I know this is a little bit of a tangent, but we can't just point the finger at the coaching staff at this point. You can't, and you're not going to hear that from anyone and for a few years. But watch, in a few years, people are going to start pointing the fingers at Caleb Williams, and you're going to be like, okay, well, we've had 4 coaches, we've had a new coach every year, and nothing's working. We have this high-powered offense. We upgraded our defense, upgraded our offensive line. We're still not good. Maybe start looking at the QB.
Yeah, I've seen. I don't know if you've seen Bears fans on social media still bring up Justin Fields.
They miss him.
I think here's the thing with Caleb Williams. Then we'll move on. He wasn't good his final year at USC. He won the Heisman, then he had a very bad year. Good. It was not a good year compared to that Heisman award. And I think the Heisman is what propelled him to have that number 1 overall pick in him.
I think there's a lot of.
I say it's about USC. Yeah. They're not a good football school, in my opinion.
They're not a good athletic school recently.
They struggle.
Basketball, football, it's just been mediocre.
USC is always the most overhyped football school in college football. Easily. They're always in the top 25, and they last there maybe 2 weeks. And then when conference play starts, it falls off a cliff. Look what's happening with them in the Big Ten right now. They're completely outmatched. But so anything else about Bears, Patriots?
I think if you were to ask any Bears fan, if you could go back to draft night, would you take Jayden Daniels? I think a lot of them would actually say no. And
really?
I don't know why that is, but I think that might just be them being biased. Like if you would ask me last year, would you go back and would you take anyone besides Kenny Pickett? I'd be like, no, Kenny's the GOAT. He's the Messiah. You know what I mean? That's just me being a fan. But yeah, I think that this is going to go down as one of those things where when the Bears missed out on Mahomes and Deshaun Watson, and they're like, oh my God, we could have had Drake May, we could have had Bo Nix, we could have had Jayden Daniels. I can't believe we took Caleb Williams. He's such a bust. I think that's that. Just wait a few years. I'm telling you, you're not going to hear it yet. Wait a few years. Come back to episode 21 of The Final Whistle. You'll hear it right here.
Caleb Williams has 9 touchdowns this year. So far, in my opinion, there's three of the other rookie QBs that were drafted in that round are playing way better than him. I know Drake May just started. He's looked really good. Bo Nix, Jayden Daniels. Those are the 3. Maybe you can argue Caleb over Drake May right now, but still.
I wouldn't.
There's people that will, but I think Drake May's played better. Number 2 and number 3 overall played better, and a guy that was drafted below.
Bo Nix has played way better.
Bo Nix is awesome. You know me. I've been high on Bo Nix. The Broncos look good, and when we get to the Steelers, I'm going to say those wins in the beginning look a lot better now because the teams they beat. But yeah, moving on. Do we want to talk about Bills Colts that much?
I literally think that this game, I don't think we can talk about it all. Obviously, the Bills beat the Colts. Joe Flacco is not the answer. I said it last week.
Yeah.
I think that Richardson needed to be benched for that game. I think that was a coaching thing where it's like it kind of goes to grade school and high school sports. You've seen it in high school sports. There could be a guy in high school sports who is just miles better than his backup, but then if he does something disrespectful, or if he does something that is just stupid, like asking to sit, like
or taking himself out.
I think any respective head coach, and I really respect the Colts coaching staff for benching him for this. I think that shows I think that shows a lot of character out of them, and it's a learning curve. And you see it in high school sports. If someone does something stupid in the classroom, if someone is doing something wrong in school, you're gonna get sat, and you're gonna be like, I don't understand it. But that's how the real world works. And I think Richardson found that out. And I think that test now has to be over. You suffered the loss. And I think as a head coach that needs respect, you have to be fine taking a loss. You have to be.
Yeah.
But 2 losses, unacceptable. And now you cannot put Joe Flacco back out there. You just can't. Because the skill gap is so different from Anthony Richardson and Joe Flacco. And I know Joe Flacco had this great season last year with Cleveland where he revived this team when it was really his defense, doing everything for him, and Amari Cooper and Njoku. But I think now he comes to this Colts team that's it should be a run first offense of Jonathan Taylor. Their offense should go through Jonathan Taylor, and then it should go through Anthony Richardson. It should be a read option offense because we all know AR got wheels. He can get loose. And then after that, it should be Michael Pittman, Adonai Mitchell, who's a young receiver who's not getting much love. I think that you got to change the scheme up a little bit with how you're going with Anthony Richardson. He has an unbelievable arm talent, but he's not taking off enough, and I don't know.
I'll say this about the Colts. Looking at their upcoming schedule, I was pro go to Flacco because Richardson was not showing it, but at this point, this season might be just a wash right now. But then I'm looking at their schedule. They have so many easy games. This was a team that I was like, they're going to be good. I think this team's going to be in the wild card picture. I think a lot of people were like that. They're 4-6, and here's their schedule coming up. Jets, who stink. The Lions, who are the best team in football. The Patriots, who stink. The Broncos, who are mid. It's a winnable game.
Yeah.
The Titans, who stink. The Giants, who stink. And the Jaguars, who stink. They could easily save it. But I think what you need to do, if you're serious about if you want Anthony Richardson to be your future, you have to see him through the rest of the season. I know taking himself out of the game, that was bad. I know he hasn't played well. If they want to know if Richardson is the guy, and I think they want him to, you have to let him play. I completely understand there's going to be fans that say just put in Joe Flacco. But I think Colts fans want to see the future. Is it going to work out? Because you know what? If you let him play and he stinks against these bad teams, I can give him a pass for the Lions. But every other game, if he stinks against the Patriots, the Jaguars, the Giants, the Titans, maybe you do 2 options. If you have a bad enough record and you're in the middle of the rounds, maybe you get a quarterback in round 2, 3, maybe. There's not really a lot of QB talent I'm looking at in round 1.
Yeah.
And then we look at the free agency market. Maybe you get a 1-year bridge quarterback. Maybe you're just going to be bad for a year or 2. You got to wait until you find the perfect one. So, like, we've seen, like, I saw a tweet about this. Out of the last couple of years, there haven't been a lot of hits on drafted quarterbacks at all. In the first round, that is. There have been a lot of misses. I think the biggest hit so far has been Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
Easily. There's been a lot of misses with these quarterbacks. Maybe CJ Stroud as well. Throw him in there. But Kenny Pickett, miss. Caleb Williams right now, hard to judge. Drake May, hard to judge. Bo Nix, hard to judge. Jaden Daniels and CJ Stroud are miles above right now. But that's all I got on the Colts situation. Moving on. I mean, Bills are good as well. Sorry to not talk about the Bills.
Big miss.
Now let's get to the devil magic of the Kansas City Chiefs.
So I want to say this is my upset pick of the week was Broncos to beat the Chiefs. And I was sitting back in my chair and I was like, I can't wait to go on the final whistle and lean back and be like, I'm the upset GOAT. Everyone was like, oh, okay, Chiefs are -7 points, it's -8 points at home. Like, and I was like, give me the Broncos. I love this. If it wasn't for the Chiefs voodoo magic, I would wear a crown. I would have bought a crown and said upset GOAT with the horns. I would have been the upset GOAT, not the upset GOAT because the Chiefs channeled this voodoo magic that they have, and they block a field goal when literally I was on DraftKings. I was looking, I was like, I wonder what would happen if I bet on the Chiefs. They're plus 2,800. That means if you put $10 on the Chiefs, you would win $280. And they all of a sudden I was like, well, I lost. I had a bet with the Chiefs in it. All of a sudden, I'm like, I hear Scott Hansen's freaking out in red zone. I'm like, you're kidding. And I just see, boom, they block the kick, and I'm like, and Mahomes is running around like this. First of all, that pissed me off. Okay, Mahomes ran around like Joel Embiid with the airplane celebration. This is my least favorite celebration in sports. Is this? Whenever they go like this. Oh, I hate that. Joel Embiid did that against the Raptors, and he got cooked. After that. And after that, I've hated that. Mahomes, your defense bailed you out of this game, dog. They flat out bailed you out of this game. You scored 16 points against the Denver Broncos when you're supposed to be the best team in the NFL, and then you run around like an airplane after a blocked kick. But that's just me being critical on Patrick Mahomes, even though I am a Mahomes fan. This was a crazy game and a crazy ending, and I just can't help but feel bad for Bo Nix.
Yeah. I'm a big Bo Nix guy, and looking at Mahomes, 12 touchdowns, 9 picks. Comparing to Bo Nix right now, he is 10 for 6. Bo Nix is right behind Patrick Mahomes this season. Bo Nix played really good football. He's not getting a lot of love because Jaden Daniels is stealing the spotlight for all rookies. Caleb Williams still gets more credit. I'm happy that the Broncos are still in this. They're 5-5 because they're making teams they lost to look really good right now. They're making them look better. But I'm happy they're competing, and I'm happy they didn't trade Courtland Sutton away. Courtland Sutton's been pretty decent for the Broncos this season, but I felt like as if they were also one of my upset picks. I think the next time these two teams face in Denver, it might be different. I think the Chiefs are very vulnerable. They've won a lot of close games. I think it's about time. They're going to lose soon. They are going to lose. I don't think they're going to go undefeated. If they do, I'll be shocked. There hasn't been a lot of undefeated teams. You know what? I might be shocked because now that I said that, I just spoke it into existence. But this was a great game. I mean, I wasn't watching it because it was on during one of our games we were watching. But when I'm seeing it live, I was like, you've got to be kidding me. How about that? Of course they blocked a field goal. It makes sense. Not a lot of teams can block kicks. Not a lot of teams have good special teams. I think the Steelers' special teams unit has been one of the best this season. You don't see that a lot from other teams. The fact that the Chiefs were able to beat the Broncos like that, going for the game-winning field goal from a pretty short range, in my opinion, that's just the crazy magic the Chiefs have. You can't escape it. I mean, this is a team that's going to be in the playoffs. They already have a winning season clinched. Wouldn't it be nice to be that far up already?
Yeah.
Be already 9-0. The Broncos still in it, 5-5. I think they're also in a playoff spot right now. And we can get to that in the power rankings when we talk about that. But good game. I feel bad for the Broncos. I think they're going to bounce back. I think they're good. I don't think they're bad. I think they're right in the middle. And I think they're going to be in the wild card race. So,
yep.
That's it for me for that one.
We'll get a few more games in the power rankings. Falcons, Saints. I feel like this is kind of a skippable game.
Yeah.
Saints pull off a pretty big upset.
Two had 3 missed field goals.
Yep. What's their new head coach? Like the
Riz.
Danny Riz. He's the Rizzler. This is the best thing I've seen in the NFL, and no one's doing this. No one's excuse me. Nobody is making this connection except for me. I haven't seen this on any memes where everyone's like, it's the Rizzler. Why are we not calling this guy the Rizzler? His name's
I think someone already called him that.
I didn't hear that because we need this is because I can get behind this. I like getting behind stuff like this. I'm a Rizzler guy. I would die for the Rizzler. I would serve my life for the Costco guys, right?
Does this Saints coach bring the boom?
If this Saints coach can lean into the whole Rizzler, and if he wins a game and I see him hit the I'm not kidding. I might be a Saints fan.
Bring out the Rizzler for the coin toss.
Dog, if the Rizzler pulls up in a Saints jersey, I'm bought in.
Listen, they're everywhere.
It's easy to buy me in. You can buy Danny Herb in pretty quickly if you do some cool stuff.
That's what I'm saying.
Get the Rizzler on your field, and he's buzzing, and you got the Rizzler and Derek Carr and Alvin Kamara, and he's eating an airhead with Alvin Kamara. You don't understand how fire that would be.
Listen,
gotta get behind the Rizzler.
Listen, the only time I'm gonna watch it's the same thing. The only time I'm watching AEW in my life is to watch Big Justice or AJ and Big Justice.
Did he actually do that?
And Nicholas in the chat calling the Costco guys a joke.
That's crazy.
We can't listen. You gotta respect. It's a whole family business.
You gotta bring the boom.
Yeah, bring the boom. But yeah, I don't care about this game. If the Falcons got this, if Koo hit at least 2 of those 3 missed, they win. 49ers Bucks. Anything?
49ers Bucks. CMC's return to the gridiron. A little bit disappointing. I think 95% of America bet on Christian McCaffrey to get a touchdown. Did not score a touchdown. I think he had like 23 rushing yards only, but he had a monster game. Yeah, CMC had 39 yards rushing, and he had a monster day receiving. CMC 68 yards receiving on 6 catches. That's why he's such a good weapon. It's just, I don't know. He's such a dual back. I love it. With Nick say, trust me, Nathan, you would get it if you had Danny sending you boom videos.
Not like I already send them.
And he sends them to me.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
We send each other the boom.
Bring the boom.
But, yeah, this is a fun game. Honestly, I think that San Fran should have lost this game to Tampa. Baker Mayfield just figures it out. He just finds a way. I'll tell you what, I have never seen a more Pittsburgh quarterback than Baker Mayfield, who's never played in Pittsburgh. I mean,
he's AFC North blood.
He figures a way to play ball. Okay, Baker figures it out. I love that about him. Nick Bosa is about to sack Baker Mayfield, and he hits him with a little stiff arm and says,
that was absurd.
And we're going like this, and I'm up. I'm buzzing on red zone. I'm like, holy crap, Baker Mayfield is him.
He's electric.
That's got to be one of the best plays of the year.
Baker Mayfield surged up my quarterback rankings on my personal tier list after he beat the Eagles in the playoffs.
Full dog.
Easily.
Full dog.
Him taking the sniffing salts.
Really don't have much to talk about in this game besides that. Brock Purdy's been
decent.
His standard 353 passing yards is really good for Brock. Baker Mayfield almost won this game with 116 passing yards. Man, I feel really bad for this Bucs receiving corps. Rachaad White's their leading receiver. It's bad.
They're keeping it close without their guys too, which is actually absurd. But that's Baker Mayfield, the inner AFC North in them.
All right,
let's go on. I don't even want to talk about the stinker of the week. Who knew this would be the stinker?
What's the stinker?
Vikings Jaguars 12-7.
Literally, Nate. Let's just go like this, and let's say Sam Darnold's time might be up.
This was supposed to be how bad the Panthers Giants was supposed to be.
I'm washing my hands. Done with this game. Couldn't care less. Really couldn't care less.
The Vikings still won.
Vikings somehow win, but Sam Darnold's voodoo magic is up. Okay,
if Trevor Lawrence is healthy, the Jaguars whoop him. Uh-oh. There goes Danny. Danny Erb has disappeared. He will be back, I hope, soon. This game kind of sucks. Back.
I really gotta quit doing that.
You hit a wrong button.
I hit to ESPN and I click out on. But back. This game I could care less about this game. But yeah, I agree. If
poor Mac Jones, he's just thrown in there.
Sam Darnold. Chargers Titans. Everyone was discrediting Pittsburgh's wins at the beginning of the season, and now
we'll talk about that in a second.
Our dogs, Justin Herbert, full dog. Honestly, I think this season that the Chargers are having has more to say about Harbaugh than it does Herbert. I mean, he's really turned this team around, and he's turned, a guy like a receiver like Quentin Johnson, who we were saying was a huge bust, to a solid weapon. Ladd McConkey's been very good so far for Los Angeles. Gus Edwards has been killing it rushing wise. Him and Dobbins have been a very good 1-2 punch so far for the Chargers, and Justin Herbert's just a full dog.
Herbert in the playoffs will be. I hope they make it.
Yeah,
really do. Who knows?
Eagles Cowboys. This sucked.
I don't even want to talk about this one.
Kenny Pickett got in a football game, and I was
he got the tush push.
I was jumping up and down. And I was like, "Oh my god, it's my time!" I threw my Kenny Pickett jersey on, suited up,
suit up.
Excuse me. Put on my Pickett jersey, and I was standing from the TV like this. And then they didn't let him pass. He threw one pass. He rolled out, and he made the pass. And I remember I had like flashbacks, like it's like my life flashed before my eyes. And I was like, oh my god. I was like, I got a little nauseous, and I was like, thank God we have Russell Wilson. Just like seeing his like throwing style and those two gloves. Listen, I love Kenny Pickett. One of my a Pitt guy won me an ACC championship. I'll never forget that. I'll never forget his fake slide. Came to Pittsburgh. You'll hear it here first. Dude was terrible. He sucked. Okay, but he won games for Pittsburgh. That's why I defend him. He didn't do anything wrong in Pittsburgh. He did what he needed to do in Pittsburgh, but he just wasn't good enough. Okay, so he didn't suck, but he wasn't good enough. But seeing him playing for Philly and just like seeing him roll out, I was just like I got like chills of him making like the little dump passes and stuff, nauseating. And I was like, oh my God, get me back to the Steelers game.
Cowboys are still 0-4 at home.
Horrible.
They stink.
Beyond horrendous. Yeah. Exactly, Nicholas. This team is garbage. And I want to bring something up very quickly because I know you love to talk bad on the Cowboys. And I'm usually high on the Cowboys every year. Jerry World, right? This state-of-the-art stadium. Why the hell do they have these sunbeams?
My parents said the same thing.
But I think Jerry's explained it saying like it's I don't want to misquote.
It hurts both teams, I guess.
He said something about it's like God shining down on America's team or something like that. I think that's his quote. Again, I don't want to misquote it. I'll look it up when you start talking.
It.
I mean, hold on. But yeah, but that cost him a touchdown.
Yeah, it looks bad right on the star. Oh, like natural lighting, I get it, but like not from like an end zone. Like it's so whack. The Cowboys this season, I don't hate them. It's at the point I like to criticize them a lot, but I don't hate them.
Yeah.
I like it when they're good just because I think when good teams are good and a team like the Cowboys in the playoffs are always fun to watch, even though they always lose, which makes it even more fun. We are getting clowned for it as well about how we were really high on Dak. Now he has a season-ending injury. We were wrong. I can attest I am wrong about Dak Prescott.
Jerry Jones claims sunlight at AT&T Stadium gives Cowboys home field advantage 6 hours ago. During the Cowboys' 36-6 blowout against the Eagles, some may point out the sunlight streaming through the stadium's windows are a flawed aspect of Dallas's home venue. Blah, blah, blah. Jerry Jones said every venue has a certain things about it in certain ways that can create an advantage. Jones said Tuesday, that really goes under the category of home field advantage. It should be an advantage to the home team. It has been an advantage for us before. We know where the sun is. I don't want to change that.
I mean, I guess if you're using that logic, the Steelers' advantage is the wind off the river, but even then that screws them over.
Yeah.
But the Cowboys, they suck. They're 0-4 at home this season. They lost to the Packers in the wild card game. We all know. I think that's 5 in a row. I don't know before that. This team, like Nicholas said, it's still a very nice stadium. Don't get me wrong. Mm-hmm. I want to go there. It's on my bucket list, but like watching a game there, my gosh. That team stinks. I don't know why Mike McCarthy's still the coach. Jerry Jones screwed this team up.
I don't think it's McCarthy's problem at all. I think he's the head coach.
I like what you're saying there. I think he's going to be the scapegoat for Jerry Jones. It's like this situation with the Bears. They're going to fire the guy that shouldn't be fired.
Yeah.
Jerry Jones needs to move on from being a GM. He can be an owner.
Free CD.
Not a GM. Just free because CD. He re-signed Dak and CD. Dak now has season-ending injury. He didn't get a running back. If they were in the running for maybe a Derrick Henry or Saquon, they're a better team. He didn't go out and get a running back. That team stinks. And I have a theory, though, what he's doing. Now, hear me out here. I don't want this, but I could see it. Cowboys finish with an awful record. They jump on Ashton Jeanty. I think he's a Cowboy.
Ashton Jeanty's going to fall top 15. I think.
Nicholas said Zeke over Henry. They chose Ezekiel Elliott. Mm-hmm. That was bad. No, sorry to cut you off, but Ashton Jeanty.
No, I think that they're going to. I think that's an easy one they'll get. They'll get Ashton Jeanty.
I like that one. I like the Raiders have a chance to get him too. I think he's worth it to be a running back taken. When we get to draft stuff in a couple weeks, I'm excited for draft talk because this draft coming up. Travis Hunter in there. That's going to be interesting to see where he goes. Ashton Jeanty. What's going on?
This next game? Cardinals, Jets?
Yeah, Jets got whooped. You didn't see this one?
No, I did.
How about Aaron Rodgers?
What is this?
Oh.
Pack Watch of the Week. Pack Watch of the Week is back. Let me get my banner out. This laptop. This is bad. Hold on.
Oh, goodness. There he is.
This is my Super Bowl. Give me my sound. Ha ha ha. Aaron Rodgers
He's so good. Aaron Rodgers is awesome.
Deshaun Watson's done for the year. Done for the year. This is my new Super Bowl. It's seeing Aaron Rodgers downfall. I'm laughing to the bank. Aaron Rodgers. Rick Bozo, rest in peace. You just simply will not be missed. Pack Watch of the Week. It's back. I'm bringing it back. It's in full effect. Pretty happy, excited about Pack Watch of the Week.
See, I don't even want to talk about this game because the Jets don't deserve my time. How about the Cardinals, though?
I had to get the Pack Watch off my chest. I had to.
All I want to talk about this game is Kyler.
I haven't done it in so long, but
Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
Beast. He's having a good year.
He's cooking. Black Ops 6 came out.
Yeah, he just came out. Yeah. That's all I got about this game. Aaron Rodgers sucks. What a job getting Devontae Adams. That's really helped.
Lions, Texans.
Shouldn't have fired Saleh. Scapegoat.
Lions, Texans. This is an interesting game. Now, Jared Goff threw 5 interceptions and they still won the football game. I don't know how that works. That's also some voodoo magic. But I think that speaks volumes onto how good this Lions team really is. There's never going to be a time, ever, probably in our life, where the quarterback is going to throw 5 interceptions, and at the end of the day, we're going to talk about how good the team is.
Yeah.
If your quarterback can throw 5 picks and you still put up 23 points and win the football game, you're doing some serious stuff right. Jared Goff had his worst game of all time. Literally, they said it was his worst game ever, and he still threw 240 yards. The Lions shut out the Texans in the second half of the football game. The Texans did not score 1 point in the third or fourth quarter. The Lions scored 6 points in the third quarter, 13 points in the fourth. They come away with a 26-23 victory in this game. Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery went off, combined for 105 rushing yards, 103 rushing yards. Jared Goff had 2 rushing yards. But this is honestly a better game than it looks like on the box score. This is a fun game to watch. Texans uniforms were sick as well. I like those little candy apple red face masks. Those are hard.
I'll say this about this game. This was brought up Sunday Night Football, and I kind of agreed with this. I know it's an interception. I kind of only want to classify 4 picks because one of them was on a Hail Mary at the end of a half. I get it. It counts. I feel like there should be a separate stat for like Hail Mary picks, even though they're interceptions. It's stupid to think about. I think the takeaway, you said the Lions being good is the takeaway. I think the takeaway in this for me, I think the Texans are a little mid. I don't think they're as good as people think. They're missing Stephon Diggs. They missed Nico Collins for a while. He came back, I think, this game.
Yeah.
No, he didn't get any snaps, it doesn't look like. Tank Dell, pretty good. He's kind of stepped up, but John Mechie the third, Dalton Schultz, Joe Mixon had more receptions than Tank Dell, who was, I think, their wide receiver 1 on that night.
Yeah,
the Lions are good, very good. I think they're better than the Chiefs, even though the Chiefs haven't lost yet. I just think the takeaway of this is, I can't believe we ranked CJ Stroud top 5. That's another one I want to look back at.
I think we got to replace him with Joe Burrow.
This Texans, this team is just kind of. I think they're a little overrated.
I agree.
Their defense keeps them in games. Their offense isn't that much to beat. CJ Stroud, I had an MVP talks beginning of the year. He's nowhere close.
Yeah.
I don't think he's anywhere close, but that's all I got for this one. Great game. You want to do last night, then we'll go to Steelers?
Yep.
I mean, I don't really have anything to talk about Dolphins much.
No, this game was honestly annoying to watch. Tyreek Hill, we got to talk about this. I think this is the biggest factor. What is going on with Tyreek Hill?
He got a touchdown.
He got a 1-yard touchdown. Yippee.
I traded him in fantasy for Cooper Kupp.
Sucks. He sucks, bro. He doesn't get open, or 2 is just not throwing to him. But it's, I don't know, man. This
one of my picks.
It's rough game to watch.
Tyreek Hill's having a bad year. Mahomes is having a bad year, even though he's good. Like a lot of good players having bad seasons. Rams lose though.
Stafford threw the ball well. Puka and Cooper Kupp went off as well. Puka 98 yards, Cooper Kupp 80 yards. I think where it just came down to it is they couldn't score in the red zone. They couldn't capitalize, and that's been their problem. That's been a big Sean McVay problem ever since he's been in the football league. He has not been able to score in the red zone, and they got to figure it out.
Yeah, I don't think the Rams need to worry, though, because how close that division is.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any panic. They're still in it. They're not like other teams that are already out.
Yeah.
But, man, we got one more game to talk about. We'll probably talk about it a little longer, so save it for
last game, baby.
Steeler football.
two Steeler fans. This was a great game. I think, did we both pick Steelers win this game?
Just because of the fact the defense was going to stop Jayden Daniels, and Jayden Daniels did not look like Jayden Daniels.
He didn't have any rushing yards, right? Jayden Daniels
he had 5.
He had 5 rushing yards for
one
of the 4 elusive quarterbacks in the NFL.
They stop mobile quarterbacks. They do it to Lamar.
We figured it away. Obviously, Brian Robinson did not play. That was a big factor. But Austin Eckler did have a solid game with 13 carries and 44 yards. But obviously, and then
Terry McLaurin,
Marshawn Lattimore didn't play. Terry McLaurin
lit him up.
Lit us up. He had 113 yards, 5 catches, no touchdowns.
He practically defeated Joey Porter Jr. by himself. I'll talk about him in a little bit.
But on Pittsburgh side, Russell Wilson with another great game. Finally threw an interception. We finally had that turnover. I think that I was kind of waiting for that to happen. So when that happened, I was like, all right, fine. Like, kind of waiting on that.
Yeah.
Najee and Jaylen Warren had a decent game. I hate Najee Harris. I'm happy he was outrun by Jaylen Warren. Screw that guy.
Warren fumbles it on the 2.
Yep, Warren fumbled it. That was tough.
Typical Steelers.
George Pickens with an unbelievable catch and another.
And then an RKO.
Game. Yep, that was. I mean, I love George. This is a good game to watch, and this is Steelers football to its teeth.
Yeah, they're gonna win based off of stupid ways. Yep. They're gonna exploit teams like we saw the final play when I saw them lining up for 4th down after they stopped the Commanders short on that review. I think every Yinzer at the same time was screaming, "Why are you going for it? What are you doing?" Because if you missed that, they're on the 50.
When they jumped.
Yeah, like I was so hyped. I was worried at the same time. I was like, are they actually going to snap the ball? Then I was like, okay. I don't know if the Commander's actually going to jump. It only took like 2 seconds for the rookie. I think it was a rookie lineman to jump. But yeah, he was kind of mad about that, which I would be mad as well. But this was a great game. And we talked about it earlier. The Steelers' schedule was always laughed at as one of being easy. The Steelers' wins aren't legitimate. I want to look back at these very quick. Let's look back at the first 3 games. The Falcons, they're a playoff team. The Broncos have exceeded expectations. The Chargers are 6-3. 5-5 Broncos, 6-3 Chargers. Falcons are, let me see, they are 6-4, first place. But the Steelers' wins are illegitimate. They're not good enough. I mean, looking back, those 3 teams are probably going to be in the postseason.
Yep.
I think the Broncos might not make it. I think they're in the mix with the Bengals for that 7 seed right now. The Pittsburgh Steelers wins, I know, listen, those losses by 3 to the Colts and Cowboys looking back just make me mad. This team could be undefeated. I don't think they should be undefeated. I don't think, I didn't have them undefeated, but looking back at those games, they lost the Cowboys game in the final minute when the Cowboys scored or whatever, the game-winning touchdown. And then the Colts game, they just did not look that good. It came down to a final drive ending in the, I think, fumble or sack or whatever it was. They have good quarterback play. I mean, Fields got them to 4-2, and then Russell Wilson's now 3-0.
Mm-hmm.
The Jets and Giants wins don't look as good, and the Raiders, but I mean, the Jets had Aaron Rodgers. They were up 15-0. They scored 37 unanswered points on the New York Jets. So looking up at what they have, we'll talk more about it, I guess, Thursday, because I can't do Friday. But it's Ravens week. I'm excited for it. But this game was a statement by the Pittsburgh Steelers to say to fans, you need to start treating us like we're legitimate. You need to start treating us like you should.
Oh, yeah.
So many fans had the Steelers winning 4 or 5 games. If you had them winning only 4 or 5 games, you're stupid. Because the Steelers always have a winning record. They're always giving teams like this. If NFL fans, casuals, if Chiefs fans, for example, are looking at the Steelers schedule and they're like, they're going to win 5 games. If you think the Steelers with that defense is only going to win 5 games, you're stupid.
Yeah.
You're dumb. The Steelers win based off of pre-snap penalties. They win off of good defense. They win in the offense. How good does it feel, Danny, that we have a quarterback now that's going to chuck the ball downfield? We haven't had that since Big Ben. Even then, at Big Ben's last year, he wasn't chucking it like he used to. Fields kind of, but he ran it more. Fields was a better version of Kenny Pickett because Pickett wouldn't chuck the ball deep half the time. Fields was taking shots. They have not turned over the ball as well that much on offense. I think they fumbled more than throw picks. They're not like Russell Wilson deserves a lot more love than he's getting. This was not a good game on Wilson's standards at all. I don't think it was probably his worst game, even though he had 3 touchdown passes. He had a very low completion percentage, compared to his past games, but he only got sacked once. Oh, no, 3 times. But he showed some mobility. Don't get me wrong. He showed a lot more mobility than Jaden Daniels, even though Daniels had 2 more rushing yards than him. But I guess I'll say one more thing before throwing it back to you. Steelers receiving game is gotta love the Russell Wilson edition, especially for George Pickens, because he's almost getting 100 yards a game, 91 yards on Sunday. And how about Mike Williams? The one target he gets, welcome to the Pittsburgh Steelers, game-winning touchdown with two, I think 32 left, 32-yard bomb. He said when he got here, he was excited to catch moon balls from Russell Wilson. What does he get? And his one chance, a moon ball. And he caught it. He was not getting that from Aaron Rodgers. I think Aaron Rodgers is watching this game and he's mad. I think this was a statement by Mike Williams to say, hey, you're going to treat me like that? I'm going to go accept my new team for whoever is my quarterback, and I'm going to enjoy it. I think he's happy. You saw the weird voice he did at the end of it. I was like, how does the man's voice? He's like, ah! He's like going nuts. Like, how's your voice even get up that high, Mike Williams? So like, this team, they're special. I don't think they're going to win the Super Bowl. I hope they do. It'd be fun, but they're special. I think they're going to be fun. I think they're exceeding a lot of expectations, and that was step 1 of the 9-game gauntlet. And this was a game that I think I had as an L at the beginning of the season, which is funny. I think we both marked it as an L, but then we both changed it to a W when we did our predictions. So I'll throw it back to you. So,
yeah, beginning of the year, I was like, we're going to lose this game just because we didn't think the Commanders were going to be any good. They're good, and I was like, yeah, all right, we're winning this game. Steelers play up to their opponents. You see it all the time. This is my favorite Steelers game I've watched this year. It's just a fun game to watch throughout everything, and Steelers find a way to win ball games. That's just what it is. That's what we've lived with growing up as Steelers fans. They just find a way.
This might have been the most fun Steelers game I've had watched since the 11-0 start.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, they've played sloppy offense. This season's been a different offense. They scored 30 points a couple weeks in a row. They just put up 28. And it's funny, we have to praise putting up 28 points because we haven't seen it. We have not seen these types of points.
So
2 years at Kenny, awesome. A bad year of Ben, his retirement year. I love Big Ben, but like it wasn't good. And then Russell Wilson, Justin Fields still wasn't really putting up a lot of points, winning games. Russell Wilson comes in, they're putting up 30 bombs. They're putting up 28. This game was fun. And I'll say this, they lost Alex Highsmith for, I think, 3 to 4 weeks. I think it came out today. Thank goodness it's not season ending. But let me just say, that's why they went out and got Preston Smith. That's why you get linebacker, outside linebacker depth. He had a great game. And my closing statement, how about Patrick Queen? He woke up. He had a very good game. Actually, I forgot about one point I want to make. I have to talk about him. Joey Porter Jr. Can we talk about him very quick?
Talk to me.
I think I get fans love him, but let me just say this, and I'm going to go on a dumb rant here. If he went to Pitt, people would want him off the team. It's because he went to Penn State and he has his dad's name.
Yeah.
He is not playing good football right now. How many flags did he? I think he had 2 PIs last night or Sunday, and then I think another penalty was on him as well. He has not looked good.
Yeah.
Let me just say, he has 27 tackles, 1 interceptions, 3 pass deflect. He's only deflected 3 passes this season.
They really don't throw his way a lot. They don't throw his way a whole time. He is the lockdown corner.
Thing is, when you throw to him, he's just going to interfere.
Yeah.
I saw a meme saying, like, whenever you throw to him, it's an easy first down because he's just tackling the guy, but we're touching him before he gets the ball.
True.
He needs to improve on that. I think, listen, I'll say it now. Steelers fans are the one fan base I can tell that can hate on a player based off of his college.
Mm-hmm.
They hated on Pickett when he got drafted. I get it was a bad pick. He did stink, but they gave him no chance because of the college he went to. Joey Porter Jr. went to Penn State. He's not getting any sort of hate. There's only a few people that are waking up saying, like, he's not I don't think he's a starting caliber corner. I hope he can be, but like I hope he doesn't become like a guy like James Pierre or a Terrell Edmonds or something like that. Artie Burns.
Sure.
Not one of those picks. I mean, it was a steal at the time they picked him, but he's not having a good year. I think last year was a better year for him. I think he's in like a sophomore slump. I think he's going to be very tested this week coming up with Zay Flowers, Deontay Johnson. The script is written itself for a Deontay Johnson return, but we'll get to that in a little bit. But that's my closing little statement on him as we hit an hour into this week.
Yeah. Good slate of games this week. Pittsburgh Steelers, again, they find a way. It's going to come down to the big games for the Steelers. You got the Ravens coming up. You got 4 straight AFC North games. You've got it goes Ravens, Browns, Bengals, Browns again, which is just a gauntlet, which is just crazy. Hard Knocks is going to be coming in. This is where our season starts. This week is where our season starts, and it kind of started last week, but I think that it starts this week. Our season really starts. We start playing the AFC North, guys. You need 2 more wins to I'd say clinch a playoff spot. And I think playing the Browns twice, I think you got that. So
I think if they beat the Ravens this week, and we can talk more about that on Thursday.
Then you clinch. Yeah,
this is a team that needs to be taken seriously. I get people don't want to take them seriously now, but like you can't look at those wins at the beginning of the year and think wins against the Falcons, Broncos, and Chargers don't mean anything now when all those teams are pretty good. So even the Jets, they stink, but Aaron Rodgers, you can't ever. I know we hate on him, but you can't count him out.
Exactly.
But how about it?
Fun game for sure. We could do a Weddle real quick before we head off.
Yeah, sure. Let's do power rankings on Thursday.
Yeah, I'll be back. It will be easier. It's tough to present on this laptop because I don't have this thing. But all right, Weddle. Let's see if we get a new game up. All right, Weddle Unlimited. How do I get a new game?
Oh, it's Devontae Smith.
Play daily.
Listen, I've gotten all these.
Yeah, you've dominated these. Come on, load. All right, who should we start off with?
Let's go wide receiver. Let's go just for fun, Amon-Ra, because I saw his name.
It is a wide receiver. He's in the AFC. Lower than 14.
Is Jamar Chase older than 24?
Yeah. Okay, he's not in the AFC North.
No, he is 24.
I'm thinking someone like 10.
14 or lower.
Tyreek Hill. Wow.
So it's either 11, 12, or 13.
He's within, 11, 12, 13.
It's T. Higgins. I know he's not Cincinnati. It has to be East.
The AFC.
West or South.
Yeah, so Chiefs.
D-Hop. Could work. What's his number on the... Is this another Hawkinson situation where he's not in the game?
I guess not.
So I guess it's not D-Hop. It's not Rashee Rice because I think he's number 9.
He's also young.
Yeah, he's young.
Younger than 29.
You got to think of someone older than 25. Christian Kirk.
I like that. Okay, he's in the AFC South.
Oh,
I'm thinking he's in.
Oh, it's 11 or 12 as well. He's number 13. It's not It's not Waddle. But no, that's East. That's East. Don't do Waddle. South Titans. Tyler. No, I don't think it's Tyler Boyd either. It might. What's his number?
Who?
Tyler Boyd.
All right. Nope, he's on Tennessee.
How many more guesses? Oh, he's 83. We're running out of guesses.
Yeah, we might be cooked here.
We have the Colts and who's the other? Texans.
He's 27. He's 27. He's wide receiver in the AFC South. He's on the Texans or the Colts.
And Pittman?
What's Pittman's number?
I'm trying to think of receivers.
Pittman's 11. Pittman's 11.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of receivers in that age range that are probably older.
Bang! It's Michael Pittman.
I do it again.
You are him.
I do it again, man.
Go.
Do another one. Do one.
Another one.
I want to test this.
Sure.
I was gonna say it was either Michael Pittman or like some other random on the Texans, but I was like, their numbers are.
Let's go with.
Do another wide receiver, just a random one. I think that is a good one to narrow it down.
AFC North wide receiver.
Jamar Chase.
He is older than 23. Chase. Oh my God. Oh my God. You're him. Oh my God.
We need to find harder ones.
You can play unlimited hard, but that's like you get like offensive linemen and stuff.
Unlimited Pro Bowl. What's unlimited Pro Bowl?
I don't know. 2014 Pro Bowl. You got to guess. Oh my God.
Tom Brady.
Let's go with Ben. Whoa, from Pittsburgh.
Antonio Brown. Wait, what's the? Oh yeah, I was gonna say it'd be like Charlie Batch or something. Okay. Le'Veon Bell. So dumb. One more.
The Pro Bowl one?
Tyler Huntley. Come on, Tyler Huntley. Oh.
Offense.
Pro Bowl.
Dalvin Cook. No, he's in the NFC. Amon-Ra?
That's NFC. Wait, no, NFC.
He's in the NFC.
CMC. Go McCaffrey.
It's not a Pro Bowl.
Oh. I guess he's not on the list. Go McLaurin.
27. He's in the NFC. He's not a wide receiver. So he's a running back.
Barkley.
Tight end. He's a running back.
He's 20. He's 27.
NFC West. Who's in the NFC West?
McCaffrey. Who's the guy? It's not the Seahawks guy right now. James Conner. Is James Conner?
I don't think. Yeah, he was not in the Pro Bowl year 2022.
It's not. It can't be the Seahawks guy. I forget his name all the time. And it's funny. You know who I'm talking about? He went to Michigan State. I can't, for some reason, I always forget his name. I don't think it's him, because he's younger. I'm surprised McCaffrey's not there.
Yeah.
McCaffrey, Seahawks, Cardinals. Who am I forgetting the NFC West? Wait, why did we? Oh, we wasted one. Why did we use?
Yeah, I know.
We shouldn't have used 2 straight NFC Easts. This might be the hard one.
Yeah.
It could be something else. We don't have to go CMC or the West. South. Leonard Fournette.
I don't think he was a Pro Bowl.
He might have made the Pro Bowl once.
Running back.
He had one good year, I think, with the Bucks or whatever team it was. See if he's on the list. Because he's definitely older than 25.
No, he's not on the list.
It's not the foul. It's not Bijan. Who was their running back before that? I'm trying to think of guys.
In the NFC. Not division.
I'm trying to think of. Oh yeah, Kamara. That's a good one.
Nope, he's not on here. What about Dalvin Cook?
Well, he was on the Bills. Oh, what? Oh, the Vikings.
Bang.
Oh, I forgot about him on the Vikings.
Oh my gosh, I finally get one.
You came up clutch. That was a bad round for me.
All right, well, good show today.
It was fun.
We'll be back on Friday or Thursday.
Yep.
So in 2 days with another show.
Power rankings.
Yep. Try and do our updated power rankings. But until then, we will see you guys next time. Appreciate everyone who tuned in, and we'll see you guys next time.
I say Thursday we go straight into it.